Nico Raskin might be Rangers' best player, but according to Charlie Mulgrew, even he won't be able to be the saviour at Ibrox. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And Nico Raskin, he's had his ass parked on the seats, parked on the bench for the last few weeks, hasn't been playing games, Rangers haven't been winning games. Is it down to Nico Raskin not playing? Can you put Nico Raskin in there and all of a sudden Rangers turn into this dominant team, this winning team, this successful team? Well, according to Charlie Mulgrew, the answer to that question is no. He doesn't think that Nico Raskin is this saviour type figure at Rangers. He doesn't think that Nico Raskin getting back into the squad is ultimately going to make them start winning games. And he's also called out another two players at Rangers, one being the on loan youngster Mikey Moore, and the other one being Connor Barron, who joined from Aberdeen not so long ago. So we'll start with Michael Moore. And Charlie Mulgrew has claimed on Go Radio that Mikey Moore is not ready to play for Rangers and that he is too young to play for Rangers, which I don't agree with, but that is what Charlie Mulgrew is saying. He says, quote, Mikey Moore is not ready to play for Rangers. That's my opinion. I watch him and he looks like a young boy. End of quote. Right, I'm going to have to disagree with Charlie Mulgrew here, and I think that Mikey Moore's look terrible. I don't think he's good enough to play for Rangers. I don't think he's ready for Rangers. I don't imagine that he will be ready by the time this season finishes and his loan finishes, but I don't think it's got anything to do with his age and the fact that he's 18, because Charlie Mulgrew can say he looks too young, he's not ready to play for Rangers. Well, Finlay Curtis is 18 and he's been one of, if not Rangers' best player this season, albeit he barely gets a game, he barely gets any game time. But look at the difference between Finlay Curtis and Mikey Moore, and they're both the same age. So I don't think it's got anything to do with age. I just don't think Mikey Moore's that good. He was talked up to be this wonder kid that was coming from England, and how many times have we seen players come from England up to Scotland and they fail? So, yeah, no, Mikey Moore to me, he looks garbage. I don't know if there is some sort of clause in the loan contract where Rangers have to make sure that Mikey Moore plays a certain amount of games or makes a certain amount of appearances. Maybe if he doesn't, he can be recalled, or they have to pay Tottenham more money, something along those lines. But Mikey Moore, for me, does not look anywhere near good enough, and he shouldn't be starting. Nowhere near starting. And Finlay Curtis looks better than him, way better than him. So I don't think it's an age thing. And we've seen young players play for Rangers in the past. I mean, Barry Ferguson, he broke into the Rangers first team when he was in his teenage years. So it's got nothing to do with Mikey Moore being 18. Just doesn't look that good a footballer, to be honest. So, I mean, I agree with Mulgrew that Moore's not good enough, but I don't think it's got anything to do with his age necessarily. He then went on to speak about Connor Barron, and he said, quote, I don't think Barron for me is the quality of a Rangers number 6 and to dominate games. If you compare him with Callum McGregor, I don't think he is anywhere near that. End of quote. Right, well, I mean, I don't know why you're comparing Connor Barron to Callum McGregor. Doesn't really seem fair. Why would Connor Barron get compared to McGregor and then automatically be deemed not good enough just because he's not at the level of a Callum McGregor? I don't think anyone expects Connor Barron to be at the level of a Callum McGregor. And I think if Rangers have their best team and every player's fit, for me, Connor Barron isn't starting. He's probably in terms of like the central midfielders that Rangers have, he is probably about 5th choice. I don't think he's a starting 11 player, but I don't think Barron is bad by any means. To me, he's not the sort of captain material or a player that you expect to control games. He's not one of the players that I think will be the first name on the team sheet, but he can still be a good squad player, and I think that's what Connor Barron is going to be at Rangers. I don't think he was signed, to be honest, to be a saviour or to be this dominant figure in the midfield. I don't think he's that kind of player, and I don't think that was the expectations from him. So, if you want to compare Connor Barron to someone, I think that a better comparison would be to Luke McCowan rather than Callum McGregor. So, I don't necessarily agree with his thoughts on Barron. And yeah, Barron's been starting some games, but I still don't think, if everyone's fit and Raskin's playing, for me, Connor Barron's sitting on the bench. So it is what it is. And then he went to speak about Nico Raskin, and he said that he rates Raskin and he likes Raskin and he's a good footballer, but he doesn't believe that Raskin is the saviour. And he doesn't necessarily believe that bringing Raskin in is going to change things around for Rangers. And he thinks that Raskin only marginally improves the overall quality of the team. Mulgrew says, quote, "I know there's a lot of talk about Raskin, but I don't think putting Raskin in that team on Saturday makes Rangers win that game. Does it improve the team? I think it does, but I don't think he's the saviour. He has been in plenty of games and had plenty of performances where Rangers have done it." End of quote. And you know what, I think I can agree with that. If Raskin plays against Hearts, do Rangers automatically win the game? Absolutely not. Is there any player in Scotland right now that you can say that about? I don't think so. I don't think there's one player in Scotland for any team that you can say right now, if you put them in the starting 11, they're automatically going to win you the game. There's no player good enough right now in Scotland, to be honest. There's no player at the level where putting them into the team automatically gives you a win. Does putting in Raskin increase Rangers' chances? Absolutely, I agree with that. But yeah, no, I can't sit here and say that if Raskin started that game against Hearts, Rangers would have won. Definitely not. But it is what it is. I think it would have gave them a better chance of winning. Absolutely. Because he is probably the best player that Rangers have. He's the best midfielder. Some people say he's the best midfielder in Scotland. So if you've got the best midfielder in Scotland in your team, of course your chances of winning are going to go up. But we've seen Raskin play a few times under Russell Martin, and he didn't look good. The few times that we've seen Nico Raskin play this season, he's not looked great. So I just don't think there's anything to suggest that, yeah, I actually kind of agree with Mulgrew. I don't think there's anything to suggest that Raskin would be the saviour for Rangers right now. I mean, what the form he showed last year in the second half, yeah, of course, maybe he could, but under Russell Martin, can Raskin be the saviour? Probably not. So, aye, Mulgrew then calling out Raskin, calling out Mikey Moore, and calling out Connor Barron. It's fair enough for Charlie Mulgrew, but I don't know if the criticisms are fair. I think there's a hell of a lot worse than Rangers at the moment than just these three players. I think there's a lot of players you could be calling out right now. I know he's no longer in the team, but Max Aarons was absolutely atrocious anytime he was playing. I mean, he was absolutely bogging. De Giga has looked really, really poor over the last month or two. So yeah, no, to me he doesn't really strike me as a guy that is looking that good, that strong, not a guy that you'd feel comfortable with at the back. Magoma, untested. I don't think we've really seen enough of him. Gassam, at moments looks good, then other moments doesn't. Ant-Man, guy's only had one good game. The rest of it's been pretty damn poor. Diomande hasn't been playing well. Asgard hasn't really done anything. Miovski in his 2 starts so far for Rangers has been poor. So, I mean, the players are poor across the board, and it could be more of a team thing. It could be more of a Russell Martin thing rather than an individual thing. Because, yeah, even when you look at some of the players that Rangers have, the good players that Rangers have had, they're almost putting in some of their worst performances right now under Russell Martin. So it could be him who's to blame. But yeah, for me, I think it's a bit harsh. Individually picking out these three, Raskin. Oh, he wasn't really criticising Raskin, to be fair. It was more Barron and Mikey Moore. But yeah, for me, Raskin needs to get back in the team. If Russell Martin wants to save his job, I think he's running out of chances. I think he needs to make some changes. And for me, you want your best midfielder in the team. If I was Russell Martin, I would have Raskin. This could be your last chance to get a win and to save your Rangers job for now. I'd stick Raskin in the game against Hibs, but knowing Russell Martin, I don't think he will. I think he's too pig-headed. I think he'll keep Raskin out and try and make his point that he's the man, he's the manager, and that he's the guy that's calling the shots. So yeah, we'll see what he does, but time's running out and it could be one more defeat away from getting sacked. So aye, we'll see. Anyway, let me know down below. Charlie Mulgrew, do you agree? Do you think Mikey Moore's too shite? I think he is, but I don't think it's a youth thing, because I think we've seen loads of young players play and they can be good. So yeah, for me, it's just Mikey Moore's not that good of a player. I think he's a flop, and I think he's just one of these overrated English players that get hyped up and just don't really seem to deliver. So, aye, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.